Hello everyone, I'm Geek Freak and welcome to the video. Don't you just love Dragon Ball villains? Or antagonists in general? The Dragon Ball franchise has had a lot of antagonists. We've had the original Dragon Ball villains, Dragon Ball Z villains, GT villains, super villains, and even game exclusive villains. And antagonists. From Pilaf to the Red Ribbon Army, to Tien, to Piccolo, to Raditz, to Majin Buu, from Beerus to the Heaters, from Android 21 to Demigra from the games. And not only that, there's also fan-made villains, like Murano from the 13th universe. In my personal opinion, I like the idea that Goku went up against the Red Ribbon Army. I mean, not like as in like the androids, I'm talking about like the army in general, when he was a kid. And there's also Goku and Vegeta's rivalry in the Saiyan saga. And you know what, I can go on all day talking about how every single villain is fantastic. I mean, more than others, but they are great villains. But today, I'm not going to be talking about that. What I'm going to be talking about today is why the main three Dragon Ball GT villains were the perfect villains to end the series of the Dragon Ball franchise. Now, I know for a fact there's going to be some people out there that's going to be throwing questions and throwing stuff at me saying that GT isn't canon, Dragon Ball Super is carrying on the series, Goku is much more powerful now, and are you saying that Super 17 is also a perfect villain to end the series with? And I know some people are probably going to say that we have to wait and see how Dragon Ball Super will end, because there might be perfect villains in that series for the series to end off on, etc, etc, etc. Now listen, I made a video a few weeks ago, or it could have been a few months ago, and it was called Dragon Ball GT Can Exist After the Z Series. And basically what I say in that video is that Dragon Ball GT comes after the Dragon Ball Z movies. You know, like Dead Zone, The World's Strongest, The Tree of Might, the Broly movies, Cooler, Fusion Reborn, etc, etc. And I also say that there's also a timeline where these movies takes place, and also the Dragon Ball Z series also takes place, but things are completely different within that version of Dragon Ball Z because the movies also take place within that timeline. You know, the series and the movies live side by side with each other, and there would need to be a lot of changes for these movies to actually take place within that series. Now, there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, and that reason is I'm going to be bringing up one of the Dragon Ball Z movies up in this discussion later on in this video. But yeah, that video will explain everything. So pause this video, start a new tab, watch that video, and then as soon as you finish that, come back and watch this video. And with that said, let's resume with the video. Now, Goku has been fighting against loads of antagonists in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, etc, etc. Now some people will say, oh, the Dragon Ball villains are perfect, and some people will say that the Dragon Ball Z villains are perfect. Some will say that GT is perfect. And again, I'm not going to be mentioning Super because it's still going, but in my honest opinion, I think the Dragon Ball GT villains are the perfect villains to end the series. Again, Dragon Ball GT takes place in an alternate timeline, so Dragon Ball GT is its own thing. Now Goku has gone through a lot of stuff in his life. He faced off against an army, he went through a lot of tournaments, and he faced off against the Demon King and his son. So yeah, I'm basically talking about King Piccolo and Piccolo. Dragon Ball was basically Goku's beginning, but let's just say for example that Dragon Ball was all there is for the Dragon Ball franchise. Like there wasn't no Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball GT or anything like that. Let's just say for example that the original Dragon Ball was all there was for the Dragon Ball franchise. And at the end of the Dragon Ball series, when Goku finally defeated Piccolo at the World Tournament, it was at this point that Goku was the most powerful man in the world. And it looks like nobody could stop him. He took down a wannabe emperor. He took down the most powerful army in the world. He took down King Piccolo, which even Master Roshi and Tien couldn't defeat. And yes, I know Goku has been through a lot of tournaments. He faced off against Master Roshi, he faced off against Tien, he faced off against Baba and her goons. And King Piccolo at the time was thought to be a demon. And at this point, he was the most powerful being in the world. King Piccolo, And then Goku defeated him, and then years later, Piccolo came back reincarnated to take revenge on Goku, but Goku defeated him, and he even gave Piccolo a senzu bean and told him that he wants to fight him again. he tells Piccolo that he needs a rival for him to keep Goku on his toes. So basically, Dragon Ball just proves that Goku is the most powerful man in the world. And if you wanted to, you could just leave it there. But when it came to Dragon Ball Z, when Goku finally met Raditz, Goku finally learned something about himself. He learned who he is, he understood where his power came from, he finds out that there's more of his kind out there, and basically, we learn in Z where Goku came from. He had his fight with Raditz, Vegeta, and his fight against Frieza. And Frieza, at the time, was seen as the most powerful being in the universe. Hell, even King Kai was afraid of Frieza, and Frieza was supposed to be the end-all of end-alls. But instead, the series carried on, and we got the Red Ribbon Army to come back with androids. With Android 17 and 18, Android 16, and Cell. Oh, and there was also Android 20, which was Dr. Gero, and Android 19 as well. But let me ask you guys something. Did you guys notice anything within this saga? If you guys don't know, I'll tell you. Goku has never ever beaten anybody within this saga. He never met Android 17 or 18, he never fought Android 16. He lost his fight against Android 19, and he never fought Android 20 as well. And yes, Goku did fight against Cell, but Goku just gave up on that, and Goku let Gohan take his place. Now, so far, we've had the Saiyans and Frieza, and all that was about Goku in his past and who he is, and who the Saiyans was. And when it came to the Android saga, all the way to the Cell games, all this was about Goku. The Red Ribbon Army, or Dr. Gero, wanted to take revenge on Goku because of what he did to the Red Ribbon Army. So, from the androids to Cell, all of this was about Goku. And, get this, the androids were much more powerful than Frieza. So yeah, that's something to think about. Now, when it came to the third and final villain, we got Majin Buu. Now, the thing is, with Majin Buu, he doesn't have any ties to the Saiyans, he doesn't have any ties to Goku, and Majin Buu is much more powerful than the villains that came before Majin Buu. And like I said, Majin Buu doesn't have any ties to the Saiyans, he doesn't have any ties to Goku. Majin Buu was basically a character that expanded the Dragon Ball Z universe and its lore. We got to meet the Supreme Kais, we got to meet Deborah and Babidi. You know, we got to basically see the hierarchies of who the next big god is, which was Shin at the time. But yeah, we all know that Shin is a terrible Supreme Kai. So yeah, meeting the Supreme Kais is what basically expanded the Dragon Ball franchise's universe, and that's where we got to see Majin Buu. And you know what, if you ask me, Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu isn't exactly the best sort of villains to finish off the Dragon Ball franchise. Now listen, don't get me wrong, I love Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. But the thing is, Majin Buu doesn't have any connection to the Saiyans or Goku. Majin Buu was just a villain that just came out of nowhere. But on the other hand, he did expand the Dragon Ball universe. Now, when it came to somebody like Cell and Frieza, I mean, I like the idea that the cells of Piccolo, Frieza, Vegeta, and Goku was within Cell, and Cell has been using everybody's abilities. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I think Cell was the perfect villain to end the series with. He had all the abilities and techniques from previous powerful fighters that Goku has gone up against. But you guys have to admit, it seems very, very far-fetched for a scientist, a human scientist, to create something like the androids in Cell that's even much more powerful than Frieza. And when Goku meets up with King Kai again, and Goku tells King Kai that there are androids that are even much more powerful than Frieza, King Kai doesn't seem to be fazed by this. He just says, "Androids, huh? That's a new one." And when it came to Frieza, well, basically, Frieza was a tyrant, and he also destroyed planet Vegeta with the Saiyans on it. And Goku basically avenged the Saiyans. Now listen, I did say that I do love Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu, but I don't think the Majin Buu saga is the way to end the series. I mean, Frieza and Cell, they're fantastic. Cell's basically a combination of Goku's past and the Saiyans' past. Again, I think the series would have been better if the series just ended with Cell. But that's not to say that I don't like Majin Buu. I mean, I do love Majin Buu. I think he's awesome. I mean, the only thing that Majin Buu has contributed to is that he expanded the Dragon Ball lore and universe. And then, in Dragon Ball Super, we're introduced to Beerus, and Beerus says that there are 12 universes. I mean, Dragon Ball Super is basically expanding the series and the universe more and more and more. That's what Dragon Ball Super is doing. But again, I'm not going to go into Dragon Ball Super. I am now going to talk about Dragon Ball GT, and why the GT villains are the perfect villains to end the series of the Dragon Ball franchise. Again, I know Dragon Ball GT is its own continuity and it follows the Dragon Ball Z movies, and it doesn't take place after Super, So, I'm going to explain to you guys why Dragon Ball GT as the perfect villains for the series to end with. And with that said, let's carry on. And the first villain we're going to be talking about is Baby. Now, me personally, Baby is one of my favourite villains. I just love the idea that the Tuffles or any other race would come for revenge against the Saiyans. I mean, Granola's okay, but he's definitely no Baby. Now, when it comes to Baby, he's kind of the opposite of what Frieza is. Frieza wanted to get rid of the Saiyans because Frieza knew that they would be a big massive pain in the ass to deal with later on, if they ever decided to rise up against Frieza. But when it came to Baby, Baby just wanted revenge for what the Saiyans did to his people. So basically, Baby should be worshipping Frieza. Okay, not literally, but you know what I'm trying to say. It was a joke. Now, when it came to Baby, Baby's people had a reason to go after the Saiyans. The Tuffles welcomed the Saiyans when they landed on Planet Plant, and the Tuffles were a very peaceful race. And then one day, the Saiyans said, you know what, let's go after the Tuffles. So yeah, the Saiyans went after the Tuffles, and then they won against the Tuffles. And you know what, I'm just going to have to say it, I absolutely love the idea that the Tuffles would come back and get revenge on the Saiyans, like Hachiyak and Baby. But we're not here to talk about Hachiyak, we're here to talk about Baby. When it came to the Saiyans made a lot of enemies. The planets they conquered, fighting each other like the ancient evil Saiyans, and there was also Frieza that commanded them. And I know he's not in GT, but Granola is an example of what the Saiyans did to other people. You know, destroying other races, selling planets, etc, etc. And when it came to other races, we can assume that those races who were screwed over by the Saiyans are either dead, or know that the Saiyans are all gone, or they couldn't be bothered to go after the Saiyans because they didn't know where they was. But when it came to Baby, Baby is the remnants of the past that was screwed over by the Saiyans. Now here's the thing, Baby was created in a last-ditch effort to save the race, and when Baby got strong enough, he would have came back and dealt with the Saiyans. That was his original plan. But everything came full circle when it came to Baby. He became the very thing that he hated. Not the fact that he became a Saiyan, well, he was inside Vegeta, but he did exactly what the Saiyans did. Invaded Earth, turned everybody into Tuffles, bested Goku twice, and he's using the Ozora form against Goku, the same form that destroyed the Tuffles. Well, it was a golden form, but that's besides the point. Basically, Baby's rage and hatred for the Saiyans consumed him, and he became the very thing that he hated. But who knows, let's just say for example, that Frieza didn't destroy Planet Vegeta. Baby would have came back and did exactly what he did on Earth, taken over Planet Vegeta, renamed it Planet Plant, and maybe turned everybody into Tuffles. But considering the way Baby was, he did say that he would turn the entire universe into Tuffles in the series of Dragon Ball GT. I mean, Baby was justified on going after the Saiyans, but you know what, I can't help but feel, if Baby wasn't blinded by power and hatred, and he just wanted to get revenge on the Saiyans that destroyed his planet and his people, I think Baby would be much more interesting than he is now. Now listen, I love the current Baby, I really do. But I like the idea that, what if Baby's main goal was to destroy every single Saiyan that there was in the universe, and Baby actually sympathise with other people, and not just be a downright bad guy? I think that would make Baby much more interesting. But, saying that, for what we've got, the Baby that we've got now, he is a fantastic villain. Baby represents the remnants of the past. You could look at Baby's death as Goku and Vegeta putting the past behind them. Baby was created by using alien technology that far exceeded the androids, like Cell. Again, Baby was the remnants of the Saiyans past, and Baby was kinda like Frieza, but it was the opposite of Frieza. And that is why Baby is one of the best villains within the franchise, and one of the 3 villains that made the end of this series, Timeline's ending, one of the best. So now, let's talk about Super 17. Now, when it came to Super 17, a lot of people didn't see Super 17 as an interesting villain. I mean, don't get me wrong, the premise at the beginning of that saga was pretty interesting, because every single villain from the series and movies came back from hell and started wreaking havoc on Earth. And you know what? That's one hell of a way, no pun intended, to start a saga. I mean, yeah, it happened in Fusion Reborn, but there could have been a lot of things that they could have done with this. I also need to remind you guys that Dragon Ball GT takes place after the Dragon Ball Z movies, and the movies also take place within an unseen series of Dragon Ball Z, where these movies take place. But you know what? I just love this premise, where every single villain has came back. We could have had Broly, Harudagon, and so many other villains within this saga, and it wouldn't just be Goku's fight. We could have had somebody like Tien, Yamcha, Master Roshi, Krillin, 18, and so on in this fight. And not only that, Baby would have also been in this saga. Like, he came back and he was hiding somewhere, But sadly, in this saga, he didn't come back. For reasons I don't know why, but they could have used the villains as a totem pole, like we could have seen how powerful Yamcha or Tien, Masaroshi, 18, Krillin, and so on and so on. We could have seen the opportunity on how powerful the Z-Warriors have gotten since their fights with the old villains. Tien could have taken down Nappa, Ultimate Gohan could have taken down Broly, Vegeta finally takes down Baby, and even activating Super Saiyan 3 at this point, or at the very least giving us a good fight. I mean, it could have been one big massive jamboree, but sadly we got what we got in GT. But I've gone on too long with this. Let's talk about why Super 17 is one of the perfect villains to end the series with. Now, I want to ask you guys something. When it came to the Red Ribbon Army androids, I want you guys to give me the numbers of 2 androids that Goku has defeated before he met Super 17. And Android 21 doesn't count. I'll give you one of the names. Super Android 13. That is the only android that Goku has ever defeated after the original Dragon Ball series. Yes, Goku did meet Dr. Gero or Android 20, and he did fight against Android 19. Goku did meet Android 16 and Android 18, and I can assume that it ended the same way in this unseen series of Dragon Ball Z, where the movies take place as well, where Goku gave up against Cell. I'm going by egg canon here, so I'm just letting you guys know that. But just think about it. Super Android 13 is the only android that Goku has defeated all by himself, and that is the reason why I brought in Super Android 13, and Goku gave up on his fight against Cell. But if you look at it in a different way, like, remember in the Super Android 13 movie, where Goku was out shopping with Chi-Chi and eating afterwards? You could look at that movie that takes place 10 days before the Cell games. Or it could have been further than that, but you know, that's besides the point. You could look at Super 13 as a side boss. Like, he wasn't as powerful as Cell, but he was just another android to take down Goku. And that's the way we should look at Android 13, a side boss, just not a main bad guy. You could look at Android 13, 14 and 15 like the Ginyu Force. They aren't the main bad guys, but they are a challenge to Goku. And Cell is the main bad guy, just like what Frieza was. So Frieza had the Ginyu Force, and Cell had the androids 13, 14 and 15. Well, you know, something like that. Now, the reason why I keep on going on about Super Android 13 is because he is the only side villain within the Android saga that Goku has ever defeated, and he didn't defeat Cell. Now, the reason why I'm bringing all this up about the androids and Cell and so on and so on is because Super 17 is a main bad guy android that Goku has defeated, with some help from Android 18, and a little help from Android 17 as well. But Super 17 isn't just a Red Ribbon Army creation. Super 17 is a collab creation created by not only by Dr. Gero, who is from Goku's past, but also created by Dr. Mu, which is a tuffle from the Science past. So you've got a combination between the Science past and Goku's past within Super 17. So Super 17 is a combination of an android and a machine mutant. And also, there's one other thing. Goku has never met Android 17 until he met Super 17. And I'm talking about GT here, not Super. I mean, yes, Goku's met Android 20, 19, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13. But again, Goku's never met Android 17. So it's ironic that Goku met 17 under these circumstances in GT. And it was Goku who defeated Super 17 with some help from Android 18. So Goku has defeated Super Android 13 and Super 17, a machine that has surpassed every villain up to this point. So that's 4 things. 1. This is the first time that Goku has met Android 17. 2. 17 is from Goku's past, and Super 17 is from not only from Goku's past, but the remnants of the Science past, which is of the Tuffles. And 4. Super 17 is the only android, the main bad guy android, that Goku has ever defeated. Again, I'm seeing Super Android 13 as a side boss. I see him like I see Captain Ginyu. You know, 15, 14 and 13 is like the Ginyu Force. So it's Super 13 and Super 17, 2 androids that Goku's defeated. Well, 1.5, because Super 17 is half android and half mutant. So again, Super 17 is the combination of Goku's past and the Science past, all mixed into one, and he's much more powerful than past villains. So not only Goku killing Super 17 is a sort of metaphor of destroying the remnants of Goku's past, but the Science past as well. I mean, yes, Baby was the remnants of the Science past, but Super 17 is a combination of Goku's past and the Science past. And that is why Super 17 is a perfect villain for Dragon Ball GT. Well, an ending villain, anyways. Now, let's move on to the Shadow Dragons. And you know what? You cannot get any perfect of an ending villain like you would with the Shadow Dragons. But listen, there's just something I want to say. I think Baby is the best villain within the Dragon Ball GT series, and he'll always be my favourite villain within GT and one of my favourite villains within the franchise. But to me, the Shadow Dragons is possibly the most perfect of perfect villains to end the series with Dragon Ball GT. I mean, just think about it. The Dragon Balls have been there within the series since the beginning. Hell, the series is even called Dragon Ball. So if you think about it, it makes perfect sense for Shanron to be the final villain of the series. Now listen, I know some of you are thinking, and you're right, 4 of the 7 dragons aren't all that interesting, and it's Fire, Ice, and Omega Shanron that are the most interesting of the 7 dragons. But what makes these dragons interesting is that these dragons was born from the wishes that our heroes and villains wished upon Shanron. Now, there's a very interesting overview of the Shadow Dragons on Dragon Ball Wikipedia. It tells you which wishes created the Shadow Dragons and the symbolism of the dragons. You can either read it on the screen now, or you can go to Dragon Ball Wikipedia and check it out. Because if I was to read out all of it, I'd be here all day. But I'll give a short summary of which wishes created the Shadow Dragons. The 7-star dragon was born with the wish to bring back all of Majin Vegeta's victims at the World Martial Arts Tournament. The 6-star dragon was born thanks to Oolong, who wished for a pair of girls' panties. The 5-star dragon was born with a wish to revive Goku. The 4-star dragon was born with a wish by King Piccolo, and King Piccolo's wish was a selfish one. He wished to have eternal youth. The next one is the 3-star dragon. He was born with a wish for those who have died by the hands of King Piccolo and his minions to be revived. The 2-star dragon, which is the weakest dragon, he was born with a wish to bring back Bora's father back to life. And the 1-star dragon was born with the wish to bring back to life all those who have been killed by Frieza and his men on Namek back to life. And like I said, there is a long overview for all these dragons on Dragon Ball Wiki, but they are on the screen. If you want to pause the video and read it, then you can do so. Or again, if you want to read it on Dragon Ball Wiki, you can do so as well. Because I highly recommend it. It's very interesting. And the symbolism behind these wishes is very interesting as well. But this video has gone on long enough, so I'm just going to talk about the important parts as to why the Shadow Dragons are the perfect final villain, or villains, to end the series of Dragon Ball GT. Well, number 1, they are the strongest enemy that Goku and Vegeta has crossed paths with up to this point of the series, which is obvious, and I'm talking about Omega Shanron here. Now the thing is, these dragons was created by the same Dragon Balls that has helped the Z-Warriors from the very beginning. The Dragon Balls were there from the beginning, and it's ironic that the main hero's main MacGuffin becomes their final challenge. And again, you have to admit, that is pretty goddamn ironic. Now, let's talk about Fire Shanron, or Nova Shanron, the 4-star dragon. It's also ironic that the 4-star dragon would help Goku, and the fact that he's the most honourable dragon within the Shadow Dragons. The 4-star Dragon Ball was given to Goku by his grandpa. The 4-star Dragon Ball was a reminder of Goku's grandpa, and that's why he loves it so much. And again, it's ironic that the 4-star dragon would be the one to help Goku. And it's funny that this dragon was born with a wish that was the most selfish than the other wishes. All the other wishes was selfless. Now, let's get to the 1-star dragon. When the 1-star dragon gets all the Dragon Balls and he swallows them, he gains all the previous dragon's power and gets a lot more powerful. And not only that, Omega Shanron, yes, that's his name when he absorbs all the Dragon Balls, Omega Shanron is so powerful that it forces Goku and Vegeta to become Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you know, the fusion. And this, at this point, is the most powerful fusion at the time of the Dragon Ball franchise. And he looks incredible. And then one thing led to another, and Goku uses the Universal Spirit Bomb, which was awesome. I mean, come on. The Genki Dama, or the Spirit Bomb, destroys Evil Ki, and Omega Shanron is full of evil energy. And for the entire universe to give Goku the energy that he needs is just absolutely perfect. And he actually beats Omega Shanron with it. Now, there is some debates within the Dragon Ball franchise if Goku actually died at the end of GT. Some people say he didn't, some people say he did, but I like the idea that Goku did die, but instead of going to the afterlife, Goku actually went with Shanron. And Shanron said that he'll be making no more wishes because of the selfishness of humans and the destruction of what the Shadow Dragons did. So the humans have to rely on themselves instead of relying on the Dragon Balls all the time. And then, after 100 years passed, it's implied that the Dragon Balls have come back. And listen, I know that 4 of the 7 dragons aren't that good, and the other 3 are interesting. I mean, come on, they're no Frieza or Baby or Cell. But I just love the fact that the hero's main MacGuffin is the Dragon Balls, and their poetic way on how they was born, and the similarities they have with their wishes is just fantastic. Now listen, I'm not going to mention Dragon Ball Super because Dragon Ball Super, the manga, is still going. So until the manga stops, I won't make a video about the Dragon Ball Super villains. But look at it this way, Dragon Ball Super expands the universe of the Dragon Ball franchise, and it all began with Beerus. But again, we'll have to wait and see what will happen at the end of the manga. Now listen, either love it or hate it, Dragon Ball GT had its good moments and it had its bad moments. And I do love Baby, Super 17 and the Shadow Dragons. Well, 3 out of 7 of them. Baby was the remnants of the past, Super 17 was the remnants of the Saiyan's past and Goku's past, and the Shadow Dragons was the main MacGuffin of the series. And you can't get any more mana than that. I mean, what's next for Dragon Ball Super? That the Super Dragon Balls is going to bring out Super Shadow Dragons? Or is the Namekian Dragon Balls going to bring out Namekian Shadow Dragons? Because that would be cool if that happened. Now, I've always loved Baby because the Tuffles are the rivals of the Saiyans. And not only that, his race was screwed over by the Saiyans. But now in Dragon Ball Super, we've got Granola. His race was screwed over by the Saiyans. And now he's getting revenge on Goku and Vegeta. So in a way, Granola is kind of like Baby, except he's not evil. And now, all we need is a collaboration from the Red Ribbon Army and alien scientists, like Dr. Gero and Dr. Mew, in Dragon Ball Super. And then, the Super Dragon Balls will become Super Shadow Dragons. And then, the series will end. Yeah, right. Now listen, I love the Dragon Ball franchise. I like GT and I like Super. And both series have their ups and downs. I grew up with GT. And today, I'm watching Dragon Ball Super, and I'm hoping for good things from Dragon Ball Super. People say that Dragon Ball GT isn't good because, oh, it's not canon. But like I said earlier, it doesn't take place after the Dragon Ball series, but it takes place after the Dragon Ball Z movies. So the Dragon Ball Z movies and GT is in their own timeline. But saying that, I still love GT and the Dragon Ball Z movies. And if you guys ask me, I think Dragon Ball GT is a bit more darker than Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super seems more light-hearted and friendly, and I do wish they would bring in more violence and blood. That would make Dragon Ball Super much better. And I know I've been doing this a few times before, but if you guys are wondering where they should take Dragon Ball Super next, after the Granola saga, I made a video about this, of where they can take this series after Granola. So please go and check that out. You guys will find it interesting. And you know that Super Dragon Ball Heroes thing, or Xenoverse? I love the idea that Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes back. And yes, I know this isn't like GT Goku, it's Xeno Goku. But I just like the idea that Dragon Ball GT Goku comes back within Super Dragon Ball Heroes or the Xeno games. I mean, you can look at those games with Super Saiyan 4 Goku in them as a continuity of Dragon Ball GT. And I mean, come on, Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker, I mean, that is awesome. Now, if only Akira Toriyama could actually use GT or Xeno Goku in his manga, and he has a crossover with Dragon Ball Super Goku, then that would be the most awesomest thing ever. Super Saiyan 4 Goku will learn about the God forms, and Dragon Ball Super Goku will learn about Super Saiyan 4. And in my opinion, that would be the most awesomest thing ever. Well, that's it for me, guys. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you love GT? Do you like Baby, Super 17, and the Shadow Dragons? Please let me know in the comment section below, and let's get the discussion going. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. And if there's a series you want me to check out and review and give my thoughts on it, or if there's a top 10 list you want me to do, or any reactions, or responses, or rants on anything geeky, just leave links and comments in the comment sections below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put the bell on, share this video, and leave a comment in the comment sections below. And as for my social medias, I'm literally freaking everywhere! I'm on most video platforms, social medias, forums, and support sites. It's best to pause the video and see where I am. Literally all this is down in the description box below. So if you want to go and check those out, please do. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.